Greetings of the day. Welcome to We Shall Write. I'm going to share my thoughts with a tiny piece of writing that I happened to write a few days back. I was procrastinating the writing for a really long time because I wasn't so sure if it was because I did not like the topic or I was being lazy. While I had an idea on what topic I had to write, I could not pursue it full heartedly. This led me to further delay its completion, and I crossed a deadline that I had given myself, and shamelessly, I had completely forgotten about the same for a long period of time. Well, I'm here to confess that and want to share at the same time the ordeals that I went through and the tiny pieces of push that I kept giving myself while I was writing a small piece of article. To start with, the writing, it is always important to have an idea and be intuitively in touch with it. My topic of article was not very bold, but had the nuances that had led me to think about the idea surrounding the topic. Whenever I had read the literature on the same, I had so many questions that used to crop up. It was definitely a sign that I was interested to know more about it. I started to read more about it through various research papers, newsletters, opinions, and other articles that were available over the internet. This was the first push when I decided that I will write an article to present my thoughts over that subject. At first, I should also confess that the article was intended for the purpose of clearing my thoughts up more than I could help others with it. I just felt, like writing it. Secondly, I did not want to experiment a lot around the empirical evidence as of yet, and therefore I just focused on writing my thoughts and citing the opinions that other authors and researchers had on similar ideas. To be honest, I was not ready to take the leap of availing the help of quantitative evidence as of yet. Hopefully, in future, I will be able to base my research more on empirical evidence. Um, I think it would be fair to call my article a review of literature rather. Well, I will choose not to discuss the research methodologies that I should have followed or not followed. I apologize for digressing a bit here. Coming back to the topic of discussion, I had the idea of where my article should be following, and therefore I just picked up my pen and started to write the article. And to be frank, it was not until the 3 months, that I finally completed that article. Well, during the journey, at last I understood what I needed to do. I had the base ready for the thoughts to be penned down, but somewhere the motivation was not enough. I sat down with a piece of paper and started penning my thoughts. However, I realized that not giving myself a certain boundary or being flexible with the same was the cause of my procrastination. Thoughts do flow like the gaseous molecules in a large container, and as soon as you put pressure of thoughts and deadline, they will seem to be in a sap-like condition, or they will seem to be uh, just be wandering around directionless. So to beat that initial thought about not feeling being equipped enough with the thoughts, I gave myself exactly 1000 words to write. It was not a small write up, and at the same time, I did not feel overwhelmed with the idea that I had a lot to write about. Next, I hopped on to my favorite part of the journey, which was to take a rest. Well, although I was away from my pen and paper, thoughts asking to be juxtaposed kept coming to me now because I had so much to cover. But had the liberty to use only 1000 words now. And that was it. I channeled the thoughts that tried, very hard to use the given vocabulary and phrases to reduce the elongated expressions that I had shared. And that was it. I had my thoughts covered in 1000 words, more or less, 1050 words. And now I was ready to share it with my friends over a quick Google Meet or call. And while I was presenting my thought, I took feedbacks. I simulated what could be edited, and voila, the article was done. Well, the article is not in the shape right now to be shared right away, but at least I have the blank canvas now that needs editing and touch ups. Not exactly blank canvas, but blank canvas filled with thoughts that needs editing and touch up. Sorry. The article that I waited for 3 months to complete was finally over in a day, just by assigning myself a boundary of 1000 words. I'm sorry again. You could do that too, Um, so just cheer up, guys. Just go wild with your thoughts, assign boundaries and limitations, and start writing. Discuss it with your friends and edit it, and you are done. And if you happen to, if you want to discuss it with us, discuss with anyone um, over this community, just write to us at we shall write @gmail.com, and we'll get back to you with time and the as per suitable. Which suits you guys. Um, but this is not intended, like this idea that I've shared is not intended for you to come to us ad hoc, but it is intended for you to develop your own ideas, be enthusiastic, and if you think that the write-up is like too long or it needs a lot of time to even think about, maybe, or if you think that you need a push, so just think about writing a very small write-up over it, like a preface maybe, or maybe an abstract, you know that gives a holistic view, and just limit yourself to certain word limit, you know and this will surely channel your wandering thoughts properly. It will narrow it down to only adequate information that you need to write, and this will help you come up with new ideas, because once you're restricted, ideas flow. So it's the same thing as a child. Once he's restricted, he will become more agitated, and the energy will try to flow out even more when restrictions are posed. So I think, in my opinion, thoughts work like that. And yeah, so thank you for bearing with me for so long. Until next time, thank you.